Hey there, everyone. Welcome to my final pep talk for job seekers of 2021. I hope you're having a good week. If you're new here, my name is Jen Walker Wall. I'm the founder of Work Wonders Careers, and I try to pop on here live on LinkedIn to share some actionable advice for those of you who may be on the move or looking for a new move, or in this case, thinking about a new move for 2022. So if you're here, welcome. If you have anyone in your professional network that might benefit from a little bit of job search advice for those who will be job seeking in 2022, feel free to give this a share. And if you happen to be catching the replay, thank you for watching. Feel free to leave your comments your questions in the comments here and tag me, and I'll be sure to answer them even if you couldn't join us live. So if you happen to be here, feel free to say hello and let me know where you're watching from tonight. I gave this pep talk just about a year ago now, right? So it's the second time I've had a chance to sort of be here and help people think about what is happening in 2022 and what we can do to prepare for that now. It's December 15th, halfway through December. And so, unless you are engaged in an interview process at this point in the month and in the year, chances are good you'll be job searching into the new year, which is not a big deal. So if that's the case for you, I just want you to know that we do see a lot of people who get hired right before the holiday break. We've had a couple people get offers just this week alone. We expect to see some more next week or even by the end of this week. And then we see some more as people come back to the office. So I think there's a pretty dominant belief that you don't need to job search through the holidays, that no one's hiring. But I haven't really found that to be the case. Business-wise, December is actually one of our busiest months. So that's what we are seeing on our end. If you are new here and you aren't familiar with us, please check out our resources available at workwonderscareers.com. We will be popping on regularly in the new year, but we will be taking a break. So like I said, this is our last pep talk. And before I dive into the content today, I do want to share some caveats before we just dive straight into the 5 tips that I have for job searching in the new year. One is that I realize that people who are watching this may be at different stages in their job search process. So you may be at the beginning, maybe you've been job searching for a while. So please take what you need and implement it. Not everything may be for you, and that's totally okay. And here's another thing. Of the 5 tips, none of them involve taking a break or rest or enjoying the holiday. So before I offer any tips, I do want to make sure that people plan to unplug, spend time alone and with the people they love. I'm someone who needs both of those things, and to give yourself a break. At the end of the year and the holiday season, it's been another long year for many, many people, and so don't plan on working and job searching through the whole break. I want you to take some time off for yourself here too. So I'm going to offer these tips in the spirit of knowing that those of you who will be job searching will also be promising to give yourself some rest here. All right, so if you are here and you're watching, feel free to say hello and let me know where you're from. I'm going to dive right into it here, which is get back in touch with people. This is actually one of my favorite tips because it's so simple. One of the biggest challenges I see when it comes to like asking people to engage their networks and let people know they're job searching is people don't like asking for things. So this is a really great opportunity. It's the holidays. People are sending holiday cards, and you can be in touch with your network, to the people you've lost touch with, to the people that you might like to see in the new year or ask to be a reference. You can absolutely show up, in these people's inboxes digitally or otherwise with a check-in message, with a friendly hello, would love to connect or reconnect in the new year. So feel free to use this time to get back in touch with people and re-engage your network. And you don't have to make an ask. You don't have to be, strategically laying the groundwork. You can really just think about the people, mentors, former colleagues, the people you'd like to have on your side as you're going into the new year, and try to make a plan or let them know that you'd love to reconnect in the new year. You can start by making a list of 3, 4, 5, 10 names of people and just start sending a thoughtful, honest, sincere message. I think one of the reasons networking doesn't feel so great for the people I work with is that it feels transactional, and it feels like you're asking for something, or you're burdening people with your job search. And so using this opportunity to reconnect, which is a very normal thing to do as we're ending a year and going into a new one, in this very natural, organic process to check in and say happy holidays or happy new year, take advantage of it. Think about the people you really want to connect with, and use this time to reconnect there. Number 2 is making those updates. So I want you to think about your resume, think about your LinkedIn, your cover letter. I don't know when the last time some of y'all might have checked those documents. For some people, I know it's been a really long time. So I know that there's a lot of things we can do to be strategic in using our resumes. And one of the first things I like to do when people are struggling to get traction is to have them be really clear about what their to-do list is when it comes to their resume. So work on resume is not really a strategic action item. But one of the simplest things you can do is make sure it's up to date. Make sure your contact information is up to date. Make sure your work history and your most recent roles have what they need there on their resume. A lot of times I get resumes when I'm working with clients that are absolutely not up to date. Think about what the relevant information might be that you'll need to share. Start documenting those achievements, maybe review some of the work that you've done so that you are in a position to really not just update it, but do so in a way that really conveys the value and impact that you've had in your employer. One of the most critical steps, for many people is to really think about what this is going to do. So before you even get to touching the resume, you might just pull a journal or a piece of paper and start brainstorming and documenting some of this. So I find it very efficient to kind of break these 2 steps up. So brainstorm the content, add the content. And that way it's sort of, you can free write and it comes very naturally and quickly. And then when it comes to actually optimizing and positioning that content, it's a whole other step of the process. Your goals and insight matter here. So do take some time to think about what you've learned, what you're learning, where you want to go. This can serve as super helpful content going forward. And just doing the simple act of making sure your resume is up to date, or maybe the not so simple act if it's been a while since you've touched it. Doing this work now over the holidays when maybe you have some quiet time can go a really long way. Number 3, it's really important to ask for support. So I want you to be asking for help and letting people know that you're job searching. Now, I understand why people, keep this to themselves. And by and large, the people you're hiding your job search from, that makes a lot of sense to me, right? We don't all want our current bosses to know that we're looking for a job. But what we do want is people to keep their eyes and ears open for opportunities that might be a good fit. So I want you to think about who the people are that you trust. Maybe it's some of the people that you've lost touch with that you're going to plan to re-engage with, but maybe there's current colleagues or friends that you can let know that you're job seeking for 2022. We want to activate other people in the search. We want their encouragement. We want their support. We might want their introductions. Maybe they don't offer, tactical support, but there's so much to the job search that really just has to do with emotionally, like being present and focused and strategic and picking yourself up. So having really good friends in your corner can go a super long way here. So let your support system know what you're doing so you can get the help that you deserve. Number 4, if you are at the beginning of your search, or if your job search needs a bit of a refresh, my suggestion here is to research and assess different job postings. This is a critical aspect of our strategy work because it really helps inform how we talk about our clients with regard to their resume and even their LinkedIn profile. So I want you to really think about, do you have clear target roles, or is this an area where you need to do some refining? If you're starting your search, this is an excellent way to start to notice the patterns that you can be looking for and develop some search terms that you can use consistently in your search. It's a great way to really tactically sort of map out what your transferable skills are by identifying compelling roles and looking at their qualifications. So one of the other reasons, this is a good exercise to do is, it helps us identify and articulate what's exciting and compelling to us. It can help us identify pathways to particular roles. If we're feeling like we've identified roles that require way too many years of experience or skills that we don't have, we can always kind of reverse engineer from these job postings and try to find something more junior in the field or in the organization. And they help us find real tangible opportunities that are available to us. So I think this is important because so many people are like, how do I explore my options? You can literally look at jobs and figure out what feels compelling, why, what are those patterns, and start to see what emerges there. And they also just offer really great opportunities to start revising your resume strategically. And even if you're not 100% ready to hit the gas pedal on your job search, you do get a chance here to think about how you might position yourself given what the qualifications are and the pain points, that you'll need to address here. So take your time with this. I think this goes one of two ways for people. It feels fun and liberating, or it feels really intimidating. So if it does feel that way for you, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Looking at jobs can be very stressful. So instead of just trying to find something that you feel real enthusiastic about, think about other language we can use there. Does it make you curious? Do you want to learn more? Is it intriguing? If it meets that kind of criteria, I think it's an opportunity worth putting in the yes bucket. Not yes, you're committed to it for life, but yes, there's something here that is compelling, and we'll keep searching and maybe the pattern will emerge. And number 5, practice using your time. This is absolutely hands down my favorite tip. And what I do sort of the week between Christmas and New Year's is I think about what I want my 2022 or my year ahead to look like. And then I try to make it look like that for the week ahead. So here's just some ideas for those of you who might actually try to start carving out time for your job search. This will be, I think, especially helpful if you haven't had a chance to start that process yet, if this will be your first time kind of doing that. If you're having trouble getting started, one of the things you can do is sort of experiment with Pomodoro timers. We're obsessed with timers in our community. We spend a lot of time using them. 20, 25 minutes here or there can be a perfectly fine way to get started in your job search. If you feel like you know what kind of roles you're interested in, try putting the time in to carve out 1 or 2 applications. Now, in my experience, the application process takes a little bit of time at the start of the process, but once you kind of get into a rhythm, it comes much more quickly. So the longest period of time to revise your resume is usually those first few applications. So you can just kind of use next week or the following week really, to get through that tough part and make the rest of the applications that you'll submit for the start of the year go a lot more smoothly. If you're starting from scratch, if you're really just starting this process from the very beginning, spend some time carving out time to journal and reflect and document some of the work that you've done. Very difficult to strategically position your experience if you haven't done a good job of kind of preparing it and getting clear on what that is. If you're already feeling overwhelmed, ask for some help, ask for encouragement or accountability, or to talk things through with a friend. That can be a really great way to spend some time that week before New Year's and get you spending time in the right way for your job search. Finding someone who can check in with you at the end of the week can also be like a really nice boost, and just say to a friend, it's Monday, by Friday, I want to have X, Y, and Z done. Please check in with me. And then you can enjoy your new year knowing that you've made some progress. So this is just like a fun way that I like to use the time between Christmas and New Year's, which is a strange week. Sometimes we work, sometimes we don't. But it's usually not like the busiest week at work, right? If you're there, a lot of people are still probably out. So take that time to really think about revisiting your schedule. Think about what new habits and patterns you might like to get into, and try implementing them that week and see how it feels. I think it's a good way to kind of start off on the right foot without all that pressure of January 1st, just totally changing your life. Have a week of experimentation first. All right, I am about to hop off, but those are my 5 tips for starting your job search now and landing a job in 2022. You've got a few weeks, and you can really be strategic and intentional with the time. I know a lot of people, I actually have a full calendar. I have like 9 calls on Tuesday because so many people want to get in and have some focus for how to use a couple of weeks where things are going to be a little bit quiet and you may have more time than usual. So if you join me late, feel free to watch the replay here, and feel free to add any questions you might have in the comments and give me a tag, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. If you are looking for more support, please know we are running a winter accelerator. It's going to start in about mid-January. It's a 4-week-long targeted job search accelerator. We work in a cohort. We've already got some really great folks who'll be starting with us and joining us there. And so if you're looking for 4 weeks of feedback from me, a Q&A with me, co-working and being around a great group of other thoughtful, mission-driven professionals who are really invested in our collective success, feel free to check out more about the program at workwonderscareers.com. There's some early bird bonuses, including a session with me and $100 off the registration price if you purchase before December 23rd. So if you want a little extra time and attention and a discounted rate, just make sure to grab your registration before December 23rd. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everyone has a great holiday. I hope you all get a little bit of time off, and please do not job search the whole time. Take some time off, take that break, and we'll see you next year. Thanks so much.